How you guys doing today? Are you guys doing okay? You look good. How you guys doing? I'm John, your indoor hydroponic test dummy, and this channel that you're watching right now is Indoor Hydroponics. Hey, listen guys, today I'm not going to talk much about hydroponics at all. In fact, I'm not going to talk at all about hydroponics. I was just talking to my tomatoes, giving them a little bit of carbon dioxide. They like that type of stuff. But what I'm going to talk about today is the 4 varieties of tomatoes that I got going for this year's outdoor grow. And when I mean outdoor grow, I mean in compost and raised beds and containers and things of that nature. Something that I'm not going to do anything with hydroponics on. And today I'm going to repot these, okay? They're 5 weeks old. All 20 of these plants, 4 varieties, were started out in peat pellets with a heat mat type of thing under some grow lights. They outgrew that home. I repotted them into some solo cups, and now I need to pot them up again because I need to buy a little bit more time, guys. I live in Michigan. It's mid-April, and you know what? Still too cold out. I was guardedly optimistic in terms of the weather this year that maybe I could get these out 1st of May, but it's not looking like it right now. I'm thinking mid-May is when it's going to be time to plant tomatoes. So I need to buy some time. I need to upsize these. They're getting a little bit of root bound. They're getting a little leggy, and I need to encourage some further root growth, so I'm going to bury them a little bit deeper. Now, I wasn't going to necessarily do a video on this. I've got a ton of hydroponic videos that are in the editing process and whatnot that I need to upload and get out there. But I figured I'd shoot a quick video on this, and the reason that I wasn't going to do it originally is because there's nothing new under the sun here, guys. Do a generic search in YouTube about repotting tomato plants and you'll get 37,000 results. So if you even come across to this video, if you're a non-subscriber to my channel, it'll be a miracle anyway, right? Because it'll just be buried in the thousands of other entries. There's, like I said, there's nothing new under the sun with this process. All we're doing is upsizing the pot. However, with that being said, you know, I talk frequently with friends and strangers and things of that nature in terms of gardening, and it amazes me still that, you know, when you talk to people in their teens or 20s or 30s and maybe even in their 40s and some in their 50s, it's amazing to me when you tell them that you grow vegetables, you know, in the backyard or something like that, how amazed they are that you do that. Like, it's either 2 reactions. It's like, man, I don't know how you can grow tomatoes, or it's the second reaction, which is, why, when you can buy it at the grocery store. And both those answers just blow me away, right? I like gardening. I like growing hydroponically. I like growing outside, right? And it's not so much just for the food production. It's not so much that it's like cheaper or anything like that. I find it somewhat gratifying to grow my own food, to be a little bit self-sufficient in this day and age of, I mean, there's just so much food, calorie-dense, junky, bioprocessed food out there that it's so easy to get away from growing some decent food and feeding it to your family. And you know, I don't want to get into like preachy or whatever or anything of that nature, but it's just my personal preference that, you know, it'd be nice to grow a little bit of food for yourself as opposed to relying on the grocery stores and relying on, you know, monocultural farming all over this country that generates, you know, just feedlot feed and all that stuff. Okay, so I don't want to get into this downer stuff, but you know what? That's the reason truly why I grow. I find it fun and I find it interesting, and you know what? Plants just for whatever reason amaze me, and I like the production of it, and I like to feed my family fresh produce. So that's a long intro to a video in which we're going to talk about transplanting tomatoes. But first, let's talk about the 4 varieties that I'm growing. Just okay, guys, welcome back here. You know, if you're not a fan of me on Google Plus, look me up. I'm not really big on Google Plus. I'm on it. I post stuff on it from time to time. But you know what? If you can find me on it, Indoor Hydroponics, look me up, friend me, follow me, whatever the term is for that. Okay, and And the reason I say that is because about a month ago when I was transplanting the tomatoes from the peat pots up to the solo cups, I did a little shot with the camera and put it up on Google Plus, and I said 50 bucks for anyone that can guess all 4 varieties of these tomatoes. And it was kind of cute, man. I had like, I don't know, 15, 20 people guessing on it, and no one got all 4 of them right, and so no one got the $50, so sorry. And I truly would have paid that out if someone had gotten it, but I was pretty confident no one could guess all 4 of these varieties correctly. There was one overwhelming winning variety, and that was gotten right off the bat. And what am I talking about? I'm talking about your Brandywine tomato, okay? So I started out with some Brandywines. I grew them last year. If I'm going to get a 2-pound tomato this year, it's probably going to come from this baby right here. All I grew last year were Brandywines and mortgage lifters. So in my experience with these 2 tomatoes, you get a somewhat decent crop of these. This isn't a heavy producer, at least it wasn't for me, but I got some pretty decent sized tomatoes and the flavor was amazing. The second variety that I grew last year was mortgage lifter, and production wise was about 20 to 25 pounds per plant of tomatoes. It was amazing. Flavor was okay. I am baffled at myself in terms of why I'm not growing them this year, but I'm not. I'm trying 3 completely new ones. So I'm sacrificing production for flavor with the Brandywine this year, and I am skipping over the mortgage lifters, and the little patch of hair that's left on my head will probably fall out because I'm not growing the mortgage lifter this year. However, I got some real fun varieties here, and I got all 3 of them from Baker Creek Seeds, okay? And I'll put links down to these varieties if you want to do a little research on these. And I'm going to grow some stuff that you can't find at a farmer's market, you can't find at your typical neighbor's house, you can't find at a greenhouse road stand, okay? And what do I mean by that? Tell me the last time you've gone to a farmer's market and picked a peck of Uncle Mark Bagby's, okay? Medium-sized tomatoes, small to medium-sized, supposed to give a semi-decent production. I'm going to give them a shot and see what happens. Again, if you've been growing tomatoes for 20, 30, 40 years, maybe you've heard of this. This may be a common thing. I have not, okay? My local greenhouses around this area do not carry Uncle Mark Bagby tomatoes, so I'm going to give those a go. Secondly, do a Google search on this one, why don't you? This is a red tomato Gezahnte, and these are really cool, man. I mean, they've got like this ridges that run down the sides of them all the way around. They almost look like a red little tiny pumpkin, right? And so these look really cool, and it's called a red tomato Gezahnte, Gezahnte. Gezahnte! Maybe it's Gezahnte, I don't know. But this looked cool, so I'm going to grow it. Now do a Google search on these and try to find this. Try to find some planting information on this. There's not a whole lot of information about how to grow these things, okay? So, I mean, I'm going to grow them like a typical tomato, I guess. But these looked cool. I can't wait to see how they look on the vine. They almost look like a hillbilly tomato if you've ever seen videos on people growing hillbilly tomatoes. They're really unique. So, heard they're good for paste and sauces. So that's really why I'm growing these. Lastly, I am growing, I'll bet you never heard of this, or maybe you have, I don't know, tomato. Blueberry tomato. These are smaller than a typical cherry tomato, and they're dark in color, almost blue, hence the name blueberry tomatoes, and they're really tiny, okay? And I'm thinking these are going to be cute little things to top on like salads and stuff like this. So I'm going to grow a few of these plants, and these are produced by Wild Boar Farms, okay? Saw them, thought they looked cool, and what's interesting is they get a deep purple, and when they're ripe they almost turn black, okay? So it's a deep purple, bluish black blueberry tomatoes. Be interested to see how those turn out. Guys, those are the 4 that I'm growing this year. The contest is over because I let the cat out of the bag, okay? So let's get to repotting, and I'm going to tell you a quick story, and I'm going to stop rambling and we're going to get down to business. Hey guys, say hello to Uncle Mark Bagby. See, he's getting pretty tall here, this little dude here. A little bit leggy, I guess, you know, but getting a little bit root bound like I was mentioning before. And I need to bury this in deep. So today's lesson in gardening is to make friends. Make friends? That's right, make friends. And it doesn't matter what quality of friendship you have, right? Be nice to people, they'll be nice to you. Every single day I stop at the same gas station on the way home from work and I pick up a cup of coffee. And I get to chatting with this gal. She's a nice gal named Brandy. And you know what? She's the manager of this gas station and she's also the attendant there. She asked me how my gardening's going. I says it's good. Tonight I got to transplant some tomatoes. I need to go to the nursery and get some gallon pots because they outgrew their solo cups, right? And I says it's bumming me out that I got to go buy 20 of these pots. You know, they're probably $1 a piece or something. And so I pay for my coffee. As I'm walking out the door, she goes, I think I got a solution for you. Would this help? 44-ounce styrofoam soda cups. This is fantastic. She goes, will this work? Is this an upgrade? And I says, yes, that's double the volume of what I got now. This is fantastic. Make friends, guys. She gave them to me for free. Not only that, she gave me 2 sleeves of them, man. I'm going to have extra. It's going to be fantastic. Little things like this make me happy, okay? All she said was, hey man, at the end of the year, when you're picking tomatoes, give me a few, we'll call it even. I says, this is great. So, she'll never see this because she's not on YouTube, but thanks gas station manager, you've made my day. Maybe I'll take a picture and hang it up in the gas station or something, like they'd want that. Anyway, so, I'm going to take solo cup and I'm going to drop them. No, I'm not. I'm going to take them out of the solo cup and I'm going to drop them in here. I'm going to put some dirt in here and I'm going to bury the stem as far as I can, okay? And I'm going to fill it up with dirt, give them some water. Like I said, guys, there's nothing new under the sun here. One important thing that I forgot to say, poke holes in the bottom. Drainage, people, drainage. You don't want these things sitting in a pool of mud at the bottom and dry on top, right? You want good drainage. How hard is that? Done. Holes. That's all you need. This will buy me time until I get out into the summer garden. So I'm going to do a couple of these. I'll come back. I'll do the rest. That's it. Stay. Alright folks, so what did I do here? I took 1 ladle, soup ladle, of potting mix that I got from my local nursery a couple of days ago. Peat moss, compost, some garden soil, that type of stuff. They mix it all together. Do boom. A little bit of dirt on the bottom, alright? Kind of give this a little squeeze job, right? Little squeezer. Kind of loosen it up a little bit. It's going to pull right out. And see that? See that? Not quite root bound yet. You probably can't see it, but it's not quite root bound. But the roots are getting to the outside edges here, and they haven't begun to coil on the bottom yet. I like that. As soon as they start to coil up and then start coming back up, they're root bound, and that will hinder the growth of your plant, alright? So, what am I going to do? I'm going to pop off all these old leaves here, right? Don't need those anymore. So now, I'm going to pop that sumbee in like that. I'm going to take my soup ladle. Oh! And by the way, I got this on a grocery bag cut upside down because I'm doing this inside. It's cold outside and I don't want to do it outside, and my wife doesn't like dirt in his house. So I have to run this as clean as possible, this operation here, okay? So I've got it going on here. I'm going to pack her down a little bit, you know what I'm saying? I make noises, I do crazy stuff, I like heart. Alright, here we go. Now, that will buy me some time right there, guys. Listen, and if, you know what, if these things continue to be leggy, they're under the grow lights 12 hours a day, but you know what, if you were to put them like in a windowsill or something, even at this point here, they may start to flop over. What do you use for that? Bamboo skewers, man. And instead of poking chickens and, I don't know, what do you put on shish kebabs? What, pineapple and food? Okay, instead of putting food on it, what you're going to want to do is kind of maybe jab one of these in here without killing the root system, right? And you could just tie it up a little bit. That'll get you by. That's going to get me by. I'm not here to teach anything. I'm just telling you what I'm doing. So you could take a little twisty tie type of thing there, and this will secure the plant to the pot to keep it growing vertical until you're ready to get outside in the garden and plant them even deeper, okay? So I'm going to finish these up. It'll probably be midnight before I'm done, but you know what? I like this stuff, so. Alright guys, I got them all transplanted. I got 20 of these things transplanted, you know, and as they say, waste not, want not, and, well, I know no one that actually says that. I've never heard anyone say that, ever. But some people say it, I guess. These red Solo cups are not going to go to waste, okay? So what do I got here? I've got a little 6-packer of, that I started, and these are called Tequila Sunrise peppers. Now these things look really cool. They're almost shaped like a banana pepper, only they're like kind of, they've got shades of green and orange, and it's a sweet pepper, right? I'm not big of a hot pepper kind of thing. I know all the kids out there and stuff are growing all these hot peppers and posting videos of it. What do you do with that? I mean, are you making pepper spray and stuff out of it? I don't know, man. Anything beyond a jalapeno I can't eat, so I don't know why people are growing like buchalokias. Is it because you like the plant? Or explain, leave me a comment below if you're growing these things hydroponically or outdoors. Why are you growing these things? Like, I get it, maybe the seed's expensive, maybe you're selling seed or something, I don't know. I can't see how you would eat like habaneros like a snack or something. So, leave me a comment below. Anyway, I'm going to transplant these babies into here, and that's your bonus feature. So, alright guys, so that's it. I got all 20 of my plants done, and they are in their new homes, which are complimentary gas station styrofoam cups. I like that. Be nice to people, they'll be nice to you. 10 Tequila Sunrise peppers, man. These things, I'm going to be digging these things. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to grow these in pots on the ledge of my deck. And I think that'll be cool because it'll look kind of ornamental with those orange peppers when they ripen up. They're hanging down. I think that'll look pretty cool. And they're from what I read about them, they're pretty compact plants too. So they're not going to get like, you know. So that's cool. That's basically what I got going on here, guys. I hope this wasn't too boring or just whatever. If you made it this long through the video, I appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber here, please subscribe. Check me out from time to time. Lots of videos coming up, both hydroponically, because my channel's indoor hydroponics, right? And out in the dirt too, because I really enjoy on YouTube, one last note, I really enjoy on YouTube watching people's grows, okay? Not so much the teaching videos and the preaching videos and things of that nature, and sometimes I can get caught up in that too, and I don't mean that to happen, okay? But I do enjoy watching people's gardens as it progresses from month to month to month. It gives me ideas of how other people are growing. I like to visually see things, and so it's this YouTube, I guess, community, this gardening thing going on around here has been really cool, and I like it, and I'm really excited to be a part of it too. So, hey guys, check me out, and see you later. Have a good week, day, month, whatever.